Welcome back. All right, so from Shadow right here, Bear right here, Licorice is over here, and that's Cinnabon. Welcome back. So, yes, an entertainment guy video on the hockey set because the entertainment set is still, well, it's in flux as we're getting ready to move. The plan is to move in May, and after that move in May, there will absolutely be more content uploaded onto this channel. There will be a set of the same nature as this set for the Entertainment Guy channel, so it'll be obviously, TV and everything, but it'll be very involved. There's a lot of stuff on that Entertainment Guy set that I wasn't able to get on there, whether it's pictures or books, and I was like, man, the set could look so good. So that's still the plan after the move, and the move is taking place in May. So between now and then, I may be able to do the occasional video on the other set, but it looks kind of barren at this point. So, because we packed up some of the Funko Pops and a lot of the DVDs and some of the pictures, so it does look kind of barren. But I wanted to talk about what I've been watching lately. Obviously, I do my treadmill for an hour a day. I need something to watch while I'm doing that. I have found The Big Bang Theory works for that. So Big Bang Theory is mindless and it's distracting, and each episode's about 20 minutes, so I can do like 2 episodes in a bit. And it is interesting watching it, and I'm watching it right from the start. There was one episode that had a warning for cultural sensitivity kind of thing, and I was like, huh. What's interesting is that every episode of The Big Bang Theory has something that's culturally inappropriate about it in it. So I thought it was funny that they had that warning for one episode and not some of the others. And it was the one where they come home from paintball and Sheldon got shot in the back by Howard, and they were fighting against a bar mitzvah. And I guess that's what it was that caused the cultural sensitivity thing at the start, because they were making some remarks about the kids. But anyways, it's weird. But looking back, season 1 is pretty funny. Obviously, not laugh out loud funny at this point because I've watched it a bunch, but it works for when I'm on the treadmill. Because keep in mind that our daughter's room is right here, so whatever I put on, I have to make sure that it's something that if a little kid walks through, they're not going to be like, "Why did his head fall off?" So that's why I'm not watching some of the stuff I'd rather watch. But yeah, Big Bang Theory works. It's mindless, and it's 20 minutes at a time where I'm not worried about how fast I'm going or anything like that. I just do the mindless thing. Now, Downfall, the Boeing story. I watched the documentary on Downfall about the Boeing 737 MAX, and it reminded me a lot of an episode of Mayday. It's like an expanded episode of Mayday, or as it used to be called in Canada, Disaster Detectives. And it really is about corporate greed. That Boeing knew that there was a problem. Boeing knew that pilots probably needed more training, but they didn't want to have to pay for that. They knew airlines didn't want to pay for that either. So if they could slide this new jet in there and pretend it was exactly the same as the other one, and there was very little that had changed, they were saving some money. So it's all about cost cutting. It's all about the bottom line and making sure that shareholders are happy. And it is the danger of a publicly traded company that eventually safety's whatever. Fight Club talked about that, right? You have to take a look at any kind of design flaw in your car and look at how much you might have to pay out for injury claims or in a potential class action, and you have to take that amount and take it away from your profits and say, so does it make any financial sense for us to fix this, or can we just deal with the consequences of the fact that every now and then a car is going to catch on fire? And so with planes, apparently Boeing turned into that as well. And I don't have a lot of faith in the FAA. When we were planning a flight to Vegas the first time around, I went with Spirit for 2 reasons. One, lower prices. And I know people get mad at Spirit because you don't get all the bells and whistles. I don't care. I'm only on the plane for an hour and a half, so it's not a big deal. And the first class upgrade is relatively cheap. So I also went with Spirit because they use Airbus planes. And at the time, with Boeing, with the 737 MAX stuff, I really didn't want to fly on Boeing. I did not have a lot of faith in it. So when you're making your reservations and you're picking your flight, it'll tell you what kind of plane it is. And so I was staying away from Boeing years ago. And if I knew I was getting on a plane that was a 737 MAX, even now, and I know the FAA's done everything, I know Boeing said it's the most poured over jet ever, and it's the safest jet ever because there's all this. You know what? No, because you guys told us it was safe before. When it was falling out of the sky, you told us it was safe. So not really into believing that it's safe now, even if the FAA is saying, nope. So if I can fly Airbus, I will. If it's going to be a 737, I'd rather it wasn't a Max. Especially when I heard, the Max has the bigger engines, and I'm like, So yeah, there are reasons that I have for not wanting to fly on a Max. So if I can avoid it, I do. Blown Away. So this is a series on Netflix about glassblowers, which Yvonne and I were kind of about. So we watched this at night because, it's late and it's a 20-minute show and it's pretty harmless. We've watched the entire thing now, seasons 1 and 2, and I enjoy it. It's all right if you have a 20-minute show. And again, when Yvonne and I watch shows at night, we watch the cooking shows and the baking and all that, because it doesn't really matter if you miss an episode. It's not a big deal, and it's not something you have to pay a whole lot of attention to. So I've only got her through the first episode of Archive 81 because there's so much involved. By the time we get back to it, I'll have to show her the first episode again. But it's so involved that I know that late at night, because by the time Yvonne and I are watching TV together, we're exhausted. I'm done my work for the day. She's done dealing with the kids for the day and all the household chores and everything. So we're both done. So putting on something that's really involved or really complicated, not a good idea, because we're both going to pass out. We're old, so that's what happens. I've also been rewatching Parks and Rec. Parks and Rec was a show that I never watched every single episode for. To me, Parks and Rec was a show you could pick an episode here and there to watch, and you didn't really have to waste a lot of time being reminded of what was going on. So I'm already into season 2. And it's reminding me how much I really enjoyed the show. And so for me, as a huge fan of The Office, Parks and Rec was a natural next step. Parks and Rec, looking at The Office and how many times I've watched it, and now watching Parks and Rec might be a little bit better written. But again, I'll go through the whole series and, do some kind of a comparison. Also with The Big Bang Theory, I have that underlined, because I do want to go through with The Big Bang Theory and rank episodes. Same as I want to do with Doctor Who. Same as I want to do with Songs from Rammstein once we get closer to the concerts in September. Fingers crossed on all that. I do want to get into my favorite songs from Rammstein and why, because it's an important list to do as well. And also, I wanted to throw out there was an email I got the other day that I thought was interesting. I got an email the other day from a company that was basically telling me, hey, so you've got this presence on YouTube, and we want to work with you, and we want to offer you money up front. So there are people who will get that email who have a YouTube channel that say, wow, money up front, that'd be great. But here's the thing. It said basically they would own my library, own all my videos, plus they were buying any future videos I was going to make. So I read that and I was like, holy crap. So they're paying me this money up front so I can never make a cent on YouTube again. So like I didn't even want to get in. I could have called them because there was an email address, there was a phone number, and I could have called them and I was like, no, I don't even want to acknowledge I got this email, because then they're going to start bugging me. Just the idea that you're going to sign away not just what you've already done, but all of your future work. Holy crap. Like, I don't care what that number is. They could come at me and say, well, it's $100,000. No. My answer to that would be no. Because again, you're forfeiting all of your future earnings. And that just sounded horrifying to me. Even if it was we'll let you keep 50% of you. No, that's just a no. I never signed up for any of the multi-channel networks. Never did it. I never did any of the shady things that companies will offer, like, here, we'll give you some free views, you'll get free subscribers. They're not real people, they're bots. So yeah, I never went for any of that. I saw, emails along the way, and I know for people who are coming up with new channels, once your channel starts to actually get some traction, you start getting those emails. They're all the time. And that one made me laugh though. Hey, we'll take all your stuff and the stuff you're still working on now, and then the rest of the stuff after that. Forever. You belong to us. How about no? I'm quite happy being self-employed and being my own boss. So that works out really well for me. It works out well for my wife. and I like it this way. So I'll just leave it at that. Anyways, there you go. I'm looking forward to seeing the end of the season for Legends of Tomorrow, which I think our PVR is recording tonight. I think it's the finale. It's just so hard to follow. Did we finish that episode? There was an episode that yeah, we did finish. We finished the episode with the reality TV show. We got our way through that. Well, we watched the first half of it, and I said this is too stupid, and I had to turn it off. And then I was like, fine, we'll try it again. We watched the second half of it. We got through it. We still didn't get it. I don't. Legends of Tomorrow has just gone so far off into whatever, and it makes me worried about the Flash, because the Flash comes back next week, and we'll see where that's headed, because yeah, it's been interesting. It's been different. So I would expect with the Flash they'll have a very good first episode to introduce everything, and then episode 2 will be 52 pickup with the plot and the characters and trying to figure out what the hell's going on. So I'm looking forward to that and relaying that information to all you fine people out there. So thank you guys so much for all your support. It means a lot. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much once again for everything from myself, from the cats, from the rabbits. Your support is greatly appreciated. So take care. I will talk to you again soon.